promotion, nigga.
Alright. So
What
I
you
ain't gotta
mean?
fuck
Come on
him. I ain't gotta fuck him up.
But we should spar.
I ain't gotta fuck him up.
You should spar.
We
I would
good
like to.
people.
Come on, I want to spar with you, though.
Alright.
All right, how about that? We clap it up?
Do your
All right,
thing.
bet. We out. We out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, and analyze, and simply discuss the sport of boxing in a level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Subscribers since day one, recent subscribers, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Flash Live's videos such as this, previously scheduled videos. Thank you so much for, tuning in. I've been, lagging lately, but I'm trying to get back to it. Just the time, life, you know how that is, man. So, thank you guys so much. If you love the sport of boxing, this is a place for you. Go ahead and subscribe, share it up, yada, 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 like it up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's get right to it, man. I want to get right to this. Teofimo Lopez, man. Bud Crawford checked him. I mean, there's no other way to say this. There's no other way to say this. Now, first I gotta say it like this, man. You know how I am. I come at it in a respectful fashion. I come at it respectfully with all these fighters. As a fan of the sport of boxing, not necessarily a big fan of certain fighters, but when it comes to the sport of boxing, man, I just support it. I love the sport. And when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, man, I gotta say this first. I gotta be clear on this. Teofimo, in his rise, and his trajectory in the sport of boxing, I've really admired. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, ever since he's been a prospect, came to contender, came up the ranks, and then he fought finally Lomachenko, beat Lomachenko. Ever since he beat Lomachenko, man, I mean, before if you have followed Teofimo Lopez, right? Throughout all these years in his career, before fighting Lomachenko, he was kind of different. And after he beat Lomachenko, and around that time, I pushed videos about this, right? You gotta check the channel out, man. I pushed videos about this, that around that time, after beating Lomachenko, he just went off, man. And he was going through some things in his personal life also. Marital issues and things of that nature, And I went into details, concerning that. I went into details when it comes to, what his wife said and things like that. His wife made it clear, but he went through a divorce or whatever he went through, man, and he just went off. He got real big-headed. He got real like, I'm on top of the world, and I get it. The ego of fighters, man, it happens. I mean, the fighters think they're the best always, and I respect it, but Teofimo, he got kind of weird. There's no other, I don't know what other words to put when it comes to, Teofimo Lopez and his character and his personality, the things he pushes on social media, the things he says after beating Lomachenko, the things that he has said and how he's expressed himself, and, it's just been weird. And then after that, shortly after, whenever he fought George Camboso, right? Australian fighter or whatever, George beat him, right? And Teo just, up to this day, Teo has just been, I don't know, man. I do not know. I mean, just saying things outlandishly. I love watching him fight, though, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of the sport of boxing. Not necessarily a fan of certain fighters, but I'm a fan of the sport of boxing. I love the sport. I love watching Teofimo fight. I'm not gonna lie. I love watching what he does in the ring, just like with all these fighters. Just like, for example, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is another one of those weird guys, he's just weird. He's all around, he says he's gonna retire, then he comes back, and then, haha, you idiots, I'm back, huh? He's just like weird. He's just all over the place. You can't believe what Tyson Fury says, and I don't like I don't like those kinds of personalities, but whatever, they are what they are who they are, and, whatever, it doesn't matter, But my point is, you got certain characters that are quite off, and I think Teofimo, he's kind of like that, but I love watching them fight. Getting back to Tyson Fury, I love watching him fight, man. That dude got some skills. He got some elite. Say what you want to say about Tyson Fury, ladies and gentlemen. He has some top-notch elite skills, and his performances are fun to watch. They have been fun to watch. I have enjoyed Tyson Fury's career up to now. He says he retired, but yeah, whatever, sure. But I love watching these guys fight, regardless of how weird they are, how corny they are, how outlandish they are. I love watching them fight. I love watching Teofimo fight. You know what I'm saying? He's really skilled. He is elite talent. We cannot negate that, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people take it personal out there. Fans take it personal when it comes to what they say and how they move themselves outside the ring. But when it comes to in the ring, when it comes to inside the ring, we cannot deny the skill set that, you know, these guys have, man. And when it comes to Teofimo, I love watching him fight, you know, so I got to kind of make that clear first, you know. But now getting back to that, Teofimo, amongst all the things he's said and has done throughout the years, you know, on social media, in front of cameras and stuff like that, lately he's been, you know, throwing out some, like, seems like racist things. I really don't know, and I haven't gotten into all the details of what he's exactly said, you know, throughout these recent months or what have you. But he's been stirring up a lot of commotion, you know, amongst, you know, the racial talk, the racial subject matter, to the point that it came to ears, you know, Bud Crawford, you know, Teofimo Lopez, you know, just running his mouth off that he wants to fight all these guys. He's been saying he's been wanting to fight Terence Bud Crawford. Yeah, like, that's going to happen, right? But, and it got to the point where, you know, Bud Crawford, he's like, you know, he confronted. You heard the snippet. The video's out there. I'm sure you saw it, you know, the audio snippet in the beginning I'm going to put it in the end, too. Bud Crawford, man, he put Teofimo in check. I mean, there's no other way to say this. You know, I know Teofimo's trying to cover it all up. He's trying to make it look like, and you know, he's trying to make it look like, yo, we're cool. You know, it's just promotion. But Bud Crawford checked him, ladies and gentlemen, in front of the world. He put him right here next to him, like this. You know, he had him like this. Hey, what did you say? What did you say? He was straight up. And Bud Crawford posted on X, Twitter, whatever they want to call it, right? He posted, you know, he's paraphrasing what Bud Crawford put in a text, and then he pushed that video, right? He said something like, yeah, I'm no bully, or something like that. But Bud was making it very clear. Of course, he wasn't bullying him, but Bud Crawford was making it very clear to the world, to all spectators, ladies and gentlemen, that, hey, say what you were saying. Okay, what was it for? You know, like, he was forcing Teofimo to fess up, man, and say, what was this about? Make it clear. And Teo, man, he was like, what? Huh? Said what? You know, like, acting like, playing dumb, ladies and gentlemen. And Terence Crawford put him on the spot, man. He put him on the spot in front of the world. And he's like, all right, you know, sorry about the, you know, the verbal, you know, the vulgar language at the beginning. That wasn't me, right? Obviously, that was Terence Crawford. You know, I keep it clean here on the channel. But I had to leave it raw and uncut, ladies and gentlemen. I had to leave it raw and uncut for y'all to listen and to remember what was said. Like I said, I'm sure y'all saw it already. I'm sure y'all saw it. But he checked Teofimo in front of the whole world. He's like, all right, I'm going to say it in another way. I'm not going to kick your butt now. You know? Oh, my God. And that's the thing. Teofimo tried to cover it up. And he's like, yeah, we're going to spar, though, right? I want to spar you. You know, it's like, yo, Teofimo tried to cover it up to make it look like, we're buddies now. Nah. Terence Crawford wasn't saying we're buddies now. He's like, nah, I'm showing the world what you said wasn't, you know, right. You know, throwing out those racial slurs out in social media, the things that you've been saying in interviews and these radio interviews, wherever Teo has been. Because Teo, like I said, I haven't gotten into the details on exactly what Teo. I can really care less about what Teo said. That's the thing about it. You see my point. My point is this, ladies and gentlemen. At my perspective concerning Teofimo Lopez, what he has done outside the ring, I can really care less. He's just too weird. When you see somebody who's weird and they're just kind of off, you really don't care what they say. That's my perspective. That's how I see it. I can care less about what Teo says outside the ring, man. He's just too all over the place. You can't take people like that serious. However, other people have taken him serious, and other people have, you know, in interviews he's been on, wherever he's been, I'm sure he's been questioned about this. You know, he's been confronted about this. Like, hey, Teo, why are you saying these kind of things, man? What's up? You know, and Teofimo's tried to cover it up, like, you know, this is just promotion, man. It's nothing personal, you know. Other people may say, you know, fans and spectators out there may say something like, you know, well, yeah, I mean, you know, there are too many people out there that are just too sensitive and they can't take a joke or whatever, but other people don't look at it like that. Other people don't see it like that, you know? And Terence Crawford didn't see it like that. You know, he didn't see it like that. He straight up went to Teofimo's face, you know, before, if I'm not mistaken, it was before the whole, you know, Bivol rematch. Bivol, congratulations, and I knew he was going to win. And I've been saying on the lead up to the first fight, I think, you know, Bivol was gonna win, but it was Better Biev won, it was a real slim win, right? I personally think Bivol won the first fight. I'm digressing though, but it was at that event where Bud Crawford went to Teofimo and confronted him, man. And you know, Teofimo was put in check, man. He got checked. He got checked, man. Lesson learned right there. Lesson learned. Now, this is the thing about it. You got some real ones in the sport of boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I want to throw this out here. You got some real ones in the sport of boxing. For example, Caleb Plant. You know, Caleb Plant, man, he had something going on with Jermall Charlo. Whatever it was, man, like I said, I don't get so much into the details because I really don't have time to look it all up, you know. But remember, there was an event, whatever fight it was, backstage, wherever these guys were, right? Caleb Plant straight up, you know, he straight up creeped up on Jermall Charlo and slapped him. Bam! Right in the face, baby. He you know, Caleb Plant's about that life. You know, that's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these fighters think, this is the thing about it, some of these fighters think, man, they can run their mouths off and, you know, say that you think that they're on top of the world. And that's how Teofimo has been projecting himself, man. Like I told you, ever since he beat Lomachenko, he's just thinking he's untouchable, man. You know, there are some certain lines you cannot cross, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever the heck you are, it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity, it doesn't matter if you're on top of the world, it doesn't matter if you're in movies. I mean, you know, there are some real ones out there that'll come up and confront you, and that's what Caleb Plant did to Jermall Charlo. I would love to see them fight, but, you know, Jermall Charlo, who knows what's going on with him? You know, prayers up for him, though. You know, yeah, he's going through some stuff. But when it comes to in-ring stuff, Jermall Charlo, man, you know, Caleb Plant came up and smacked him. Bam. You know, Canelo, I pushed it, you know, some time ago. You know, Canelo also, ladies and gentlemen. I know people criticize this guy and stuff like that. You know, I criticized him before, but these you know, Canelo, he's a real one, man. You know, of course, his celebrity status at this point, I don't think he would do something like that. But you know, you got to watch out also what you do, you know, as a celebrity or whatever, you know, star status, whatever you want to call it. But you know, there was years ago this happened, and it really, a lot of people don't really know about it. You know, it was a long time ago when Canelo, you know, he wasn't that big. You know, he clocked some dude and broke his chin, man, out in the streets because of some beef that was going on, you know. You know, some guys, some you know, Bud Crawford is one of those guys, man. You know, he knows how to go about it, though, man. So he straight up went to Teo and he's like, hey, man, what's up? What's up? And that's a lesson learned. Now, the question is this. Will Teofimo change? I don't think so. You know what I mean? I don't think so. I think that Teofimo should have learned his lesson with Bud confronting him. This was the first time, ladies and gentlemen, somebody actually came up to Teofimo and confronted him about it. Like, put up or shut up, in other words, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't a confrontation of like a radio interview or, you know, hey, why did you say this? And we just want to know why, that's all. No. Bud Crawford was like, you know what, if you meant what you said, then we're going to get it on. And we're not talking about inside the ring up here. We're talking about out on the streets, baby. You know, we fists up. You know what I mean? I think that's what Bud was coming, you know, that's the business he was on. That's the business he was on, ladies and gentlemen. You know, he put him had him in a headlock, whatever you call it. I mean, I'm sure he was like, you know, but that was nuts, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to, you know, come out here and express my viewpoint on it. Bud Crawford checked Teofimo in front of the world. You know, like I said, Teofimo's trying to downsize it like, nah, man, you know, we're cool. You know, Bud's my guy. Nah, Bud wasn't making it known like that. He wasn't coming like that. He was coming like the other way, like saying, you know what? You better make it straight to the world. In other words, Bud Crawford was like, you better make straight to the world, you know, that it wasn't what you were saying it was. Like, you know, like if you're really coming at us like racism stuff, like you were really about that, it wasn't like that, right, Teo? Because if it was, I'm gonna get you. He even said it right after, man. He's like, all right, I ain't gonna whip your butt. And he repeated it. He's like, yeah, I ain't gonna whip your butt. Yeah, I ain't gonna whip your butt then, okay? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this was a lesson learned, man. Lesson learned for Teofimo, but will he learn his lesson? Only Teofimo knows, man. Only Teofimo knows. You know, but, you know, saying after, oh, we're going to spar, though, right? We're going to spar, though, making it look like Teofimo. Oh, man, nah. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, there are some fighters that are really about that business. Bud Crawford, my respect to you, champ. You know, I've criticized him as a fan. You know, it is what it is. I'll criticize any of these fighters. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But when it comes to crossing boundaries, that's just another thing. And Teofimo crossed boundaries. And there are certain fighters out there, you don't cross boundaries. You don't cross them lines. You don't cross them limits, man. And that's what Teofimo was doing. He was thinking he was on top of the world. He was thinking that he was untouchable after beating Lomachenko. He was on his high horse. He was walking around in high horse social media, you know, and somebody came up and confronted him, and that was Bud Crawford. That somebody was Bud Crawford. So I personally hope Teofimo changes and kind of humbles down, you know, when it comes to what he says, you know, out there, but I don't think he will, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about this, man? Go ahead and comment in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much, man. Renee Box Young, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, simply talk about sport of boxing in a level-headed, mature, coherent fashion. Once again, comment in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys say, man, about all this. But, man, Teofimo got checked. Renee Box Young, peace.
What up with it, baby?
Hey, tell him what you told me.
What I tell you?
What you doing it for?
Oh, promotion, baby.
All right. So
What
I
you
ain't gotta
mean?
fuck
Come on,
him. I ain't gotta fuck
But,
him
hey,
up.
but we should spar.
I ain't gotta fuck him up.
We should spar.
good
I would like to.
people.
Come on, I want to spar with you, though.
All right.
All right, how about that? We clap it up?
Do
All
your
right,
thing.
bet. We out. We out there.